Okay, so we're here to present on a crisis that recently happened at South County High. It essentially revealed the need for diversity training and emergency preparedness on campus. So we have developed a plan to provide exactly that. And we'll begin with the challenge of this. There were acts of racially motivated violence on the campus. A young man drove on to the campus and he was flying Confederate flags, and he attacked an African-American student. He wasn't there for that reason, but it is what happened. He was arrested, and it did unleash kind of a series of lesser events that revealed a need for this. So parents are concerned, obviously, about violence on school grounds. Why are random students being attacked? Why are there little fights breaking out here and there? So the school's going to need to facilitate the diversity training for students and faculty to create a protocol in case of these emergencies and to prevent them. As we reviewed, there was the kid who came on. So what this opened up was kind of the discussion amongst the students about free speech on their campus. As we know, there's been a hot topic debate about the Confederate flag and how it applies to free speech. Is it offensive? Is it racist? Or is it just not that? So our goal overall is for South County High to be regarded by the community as a safe place for students to receive a high quality and diverse education. And Kristi?
So we have a few focus publics that we're going to be targeting with this plan. Students, first and foremost, because they are not only participating in these free speech issue conversations, but they're also experiencing this racial violence on campus. So it's very important that we educate them on why racial violence is not something that is tolerated by our school. Next, we're also going to focus on parents. They're obviously wanting to know that their students or their children are safe and being taken care of and educated properly. The faculty and staff, we want to make sure that they are confident and able to assess the situation and approach any questions that the students and the community may have, and that they feel confident in their own ability. The local community, these are the taxpayers, they fund the school. Some of their children may be students of this school, and then some of them may have students attending in the future. So they're going to have concerns as well. And then lastly, the media. We want to make sure that they are receiving all accurate information and providing the community with proper, accurate, balanced stories.
You don't want it sensationalized.
Right. It's not a spectacle, but
we've provided the info. Okay, so as we already described, the students most closely affected by this, the cooperation of the students will absolutely be needed to make the school a safe environment. They do need diversity training. They do need to understand the difference between freedom of speech and then speech that offends or maybe incites this kind of violence. And students need to be trained for, not just for school, but for future life. They need to be trained on how to interact with people who are different. And they need to understand why that's important. That's something that we at South County High would like to be a priority. So our first objective for students is to promote a sense of understanding and tolerance among students that will prevent future acts of violence and intolerance. The activities.
So we have a few activities for the students that we're going to be providing. Firstly, we're going to do a series of small group discussions, and we're going to discuss different cultures and backgrounds, and hopefully these small groups will be very diverse so that they can maybe be exposed to someone or something that they haven't been before. And the teachers are going to be facilitating these discussions so that it will promote a sense of understanding between the students and the teachers so that everyone's on the same page and that they're discussing it effectively.
And that it's more controlled as opposed to just student-led discussions. If there's a teacher there, kind of laying it in if someone's able to. Randy.
Yes. So activity 2, teachers will be explaining the meaning of freedom of speech in the United States. And there will be discussion on that, obviously, and how freedom of speech on campus is affecting their current environment. And so why is this situation happening? What are they able to say, and what are they, why they shouldn't say certain things, why it affects them. Activity 3, the students will be asked to submit anonymous feedback surveys after each group session, and it will kind of track the feelings and how they grow and understand and comprehend the environment. And any concerns or questions they have, obviously, we'll be able to assess that and address it later. And so our last activity, we'll have counselors on site all the time. So during school hours, anytime they need to talk with someone, they'll have access to that.
And we want students to know that that's available. Yes. All right, so the parents, these are people, like we already said, they're most concerned for the safety and the well-being of the students. They do want to be informed, and they do want to feel comfortable knowing that if any kind of event were to arise, that their students are taken care of. So they need to know that they can trust the staff of South County High to handle any of these situations. Our objective for parents is to reassure parents that South County High is working to maintain the safety of their children and to prevent racist violence from occurring in the future. The activities that we have for parents are a little bit more simple. We don't want to blow it out of control. We know that teachers have busy schedules. We know that parents won't be able to attend a ton of things. So we do want to invite parents to a bi-monthly parent-teacher conference. So every other month, have an available time where you can come and meet about things that you might have concerns with, and you can have the teachers available to you there. Parents will be asked to submit questions, concerns, and feedback in person via telephone or by email. Again, we realize that in person isn't always effective with conflicting schedules. So we do want to have these questions known to us so that we can make the answers available to the parents as a whole. The third activity is administrators will be available in the auditorium during the parent-teacher conferences for any further questions. So we do want to show that the entire faculty is there for these bi-monthly meetings, and that the parents have access to everyone for the entire time.
So our next public, our faculty and staff, we want to make sure that, like I said before, that they feel confident. So they are the closest contact to the students throughout the school week, so we want them to make sure that they know what they are capable of doing. They feel confident in that. They will need support and training in how to handle student, parent, and community questions in the face of a potential crisis. So they may not know at this time where we're going with this PR plan, but we want to educate them on that so that they'll be able to better help our students. And then since they'll be leading these discussions with the students, we want them to be able to promote the diversity training that we're wanting to accomplish. So our objective with this is to assist faculty and staff in feeling confident in their ability to handle crisis situation. We have two activities. The first one is a faculty training session for all staffs to participate in role-playing, situation analysis, and learn crisis management technique. This will just foster better confidence in themselves to be able to handle these situations as they occur.
And discussions.
And discussions for the students. And we'll also be doing a series of drills so that a protocol is established in the face of potential crisis. There's something in place that they know how to handle it.
The local community is the next target public, one of our other focus publics that we have. They pay taxes that fund the school, so they're obviously interested in that. They may or may not have children or family members attending South County High. Some people, they're the grandparents, and they might be concerned about their safety. They may be parents of future students. I mean, if you have a child in middle school and you're hearing about this racial violence breaking out at the high school, you might want to move away. You might want to go to private school. So we do want the local community to be reassured that their community school is safe. Our objective with the local community is to notify the local community about the situation at County High so they will feel confident in the abilities of faculty and staff. So we want them to know that we are retraining our staff and that we are fostering a more diverse environment. Our first activity is we're going to add the crisis management plan to our webpage of the school. We want that information there. We want it to be seen. We want it to be on a tab that you can immediately go to. You can know if there's an invader in the school, what does the school do? What's the plan? The second activity is we want to display that information about what we're doing at school functions that the community members are most likely to be at. If you're interested in the high school, you're probably going to be at the football games, the basketball games, the talent shows. So we want there to be posters scattered throughout, kind of in the bleachers, in the restrooms, by the concession stands for these people, because these are the ones who are interested in the high school activities.
Our last focus public is the media. They are a source of information for the entire community, so we want them to have transparent, accurate, up-to-date information all the time. So if any questions that they have, we want to make sure there are channels established so that they can contact us and there's no question about what's happening. They will know everything. And our objective is to inform the media about the situation at South County High so that they can give accurate and balanced reports to the public. Our activities, we're going to be sending detailed press releases to local papers, TV stations, and radios, and then invite the local media to cover the activities involving the faculty and students. So through those channels that are going to be established, they will know when these special training diversity education sessions are going to be happening. Certain people are going to be invited to come, and then they can cover that in the media so that people know what we're doing throughout the community to foster a more safe and diverse environment.
All right, and if you look through, we actually do have a timeline printed out for y'all to look at, and with a budget for our outline. We didn't put it on here for the sake of time.
Our tools are on here as well.
They are listed. So our conclusion, with early public relations intervention, the South County High School can proceed from this incident as a trusted and safe place for students to receive a high quality and more importantly, a diverse education. So any questions?